muscles of anterior and posterior muscles, and each of them subdivides into superficial and deep. Superficial muscles in anterior group, first of all, it is this muscle. It is musculus pronator teres. It's all superficial muscles start from medial epicondyle and attach pronator teres attached to humerus. Next, musculus flexor carpi radialis. The same starts from medial epicondyle, attached to bones of metacarpus and participate in flexion in radiocarpal joint, and together with extensors muscles participate in abduction in radiocarpal joint. Next muscle, musculus flexor digitorum superficialis. The same start from medial epicondyle, attached to phalanges medius, medial phalanx. Next muscle, musculus flexor carpi ulnaris. Start at the same place, attached to os hamatum and pisiform bone. Participate in flexion and adduction in radiocarpal joint. They are superficial muscles. One superficial muscle here is absent, that is musculus palmaris longus. It also starts from medial epicondyle and continues to aponeurosis palmaris. That is aponeurosis palmaris, and this muscle, long, thin muscle, continues into this aponeurosis. It also participates in flexion in radiocarpal joint. Deep muscles in anterior group. Here it is flexor pollicis longus, musculus flexor pollicis longus, attached to thumb. Yes, participate in flexion of thumb. Next, musculus flexor digitorum profundus, deep flexor. It's attached to distal phalanx. And last muscle is musculus pronator quadratus, this one. It is between ulna and radius. It is pronation, the same like pronator teres. Pronator teres and pronator quadratus, both of them participate in pronation in of forearm, pronation of forearm, and pronator teres the same participate in flexion in elbow joint, and all superficial muscles the same participate in flexion of elbow joint. They are anterior muscles. Now, posterior muscles. Posterior muscles subdivides consist of superficial and deep, and superficial muscles subdivides into radial group and ulnar group. In radial group, first muscle, that is musculus brachioradialis. This muscle starts from humerus, from lateral epicondyle and attached to radius. Function, this muscle put forearm in middle position between pronation and supination. And if we make supination, this muscle moves hand into middle position between supination and pronation. And in time of pronation, it also moves it in middle position between pronation and supination. That is, our hand, now my hand is in middle position between pronation and supination. Next, two muscles. Here it is musculus extensor carpi radialis longus and musculus extensor carpi radialis brevis. Both of them start from lateral epicondyle and attach in the region of trapezius bone and first metacarpal bone. Function, extension and abduction of the hand. Abduction together with flexor carpi radialis. Next, ulnar group of superficial muscles. In ulnar group, first of all, here it is musculus extensor digitorum. Musculus extensor digitorum. It starts from lateral epicondyle and attached to Medial and distal phalanx. Medial and distal phalanges. Next muscle is musculus extensor digiti minimi, that is muscle which attached to little finger. And last superficial muscle is musculus extensor carpi ulnaris. The same start from lateral epicondyle and attached to os hammatum and fifth metacarpal bone. Participate in extension and adduction of the hand together with musculus flexor carpi ulnaris. And now deep muscles. First muscle is this one, musculus abductor pollicis longus, long abductor. Function is clear, abduction of thumb, abductor pollicis longus. Next, it is this muscle, extensor pollicis brevis, musculus extensor pollicis brevis. Next muscle is here, extensor pollicis longus. Clear it is what is the function. If they are extensors, they both of them make extension of the thumb and extension of whole hand. And it is extensor digiti minimi. Extensor indices. Extensor indices. It goes to index. Participate in extension of index. One muscle impossible to see. It is deep muscle musculus supinator. Not clear to see in this corp. Only one muscle impossible to show. Musculus supinator. It's also deep muscle. One again, I repeat all of them. First is musculus brachioradialis. Second and third, they are musculus extensor carpi radialis longus and musculus extensor carpi radialis brevis. Extensor digitorum, extensor digiti minimi, extensor carpi ulnaris. They are superficial, deep. Abductor pollicis longus, this one. Extensor pollicis brevis, extensor pollicis longus, and extensor indices, and supinator impossible to see. Now, muscles of the hand. Three groups of muscles. In the region of thumb, all of these muscles are muscles of tenor. It is muscles of hypotenor and middle group on the palmar surface of the hand. Muscles of tenor, most superficial muscle, this one is musculus abductor pollicis brevis. It is below of abductor pollicis brevis, it is musculus apponens pollicis. Apponens, that is muscle which help to make opposition of thumb to all another fingers. I can attach with the help of thumb to little finger, to ring finger, middle finger, that is opposition, and muscle which participate in this movement, that is musculus apponens. Next muscle, it is, that is short flexor, musculus flexor pollicis brevis. And last muscle, look here, this one, musculus adductor pollicis, adductor. It makes adduction of pollex, that is musculus adductor pollicis. In hypotenor, abductor digiti minimi, flexor digiti minimi, and it is apponens below of abductor laterally. It is apponens digiti minimi. And in middle group we have four musculi lumbricalis, that is first musculus lumbricalis. It is second muscle. This one is third muscle. And last is here. They are musculi lumbricalis. All of them start from tendons of musculus flexor digitorum profundus. They surround on radial side metacarpophalangeal joints and attach on dorsal surface to tendon of musculus extensor digitorum. That is why function of this musculus lumbricalis. They participate flexion in metacarpophalangeal joint. Here it is flexion, and in interphalangeal joints extension. This movement. That is musculus lumbricalis. Last muscles, impossible to see, they are deepest muscle on palmar surface of the hand. They are musculi interossei palmaris, and on dorsal surface musculi interossei dorsalis. Functions of these muscles: abduction and adduction of fingers from middle finger. Abduction and adduction. They are musculi interossei, but impossible to see these muscles. That is all. It is not so easy like today, because all of them necessary to found on the corp. And next time we will speak about topography of upper extremity. Have you got any questions?
Sir, can you show again the pronator analysis?
Pronator quadratus, it is deepest. Here it is. I moves all another muscles, and here it is this muscle that is musculus pronator quadratus, and here it is pronator teres. Pronator teres and pronator quadratus. Something else? Well, that is all.